Welcome to this Servoy tutorial, Servoy and SQL databases. My name is Jason Munier and I'll be your host for today's tutorial. Now Servoy is a tool that can connect to quite a few databases, but what Servoy is not is a database. Servoy is a front-end tool for your SQL database. It is not a database and it does not contain data. Servoy uses a JDBC driver to connect to your database, which means it can connect to the schema, and result allows you to create tables and fields in your database from the Servoy interface. It connects to the data. It automatically binds to your data, allowing you to make changes to the data, updates, inserts, and deletes. It can also use other database objects, so you can run stored procedures and functions from Servoy. The nice thing about Servoy is that you can use any database that has a JDBC compliant driver. We do supply a default database called Sybase SQL Anywhere. It's installed by default, but its use is completely optional. When you go to install Servoy, you'll notice there's a checkbox for the database. If you check that box, or keep it checked, it will install SQL Anywhere for you. If you want to use your own database, you should uncheck that box and it will not install SQL Anywhere at that point. If you do choose to use SQL Anywhere, you can use Sybase Central as a toolkit to manage your database. This is download from Sybase. We do not provide Sybase Central for you. It is a free download and is considered a developer tool. You can use this Sybase Central to manage and maintain your databases, so you can do backups, you can do database maintenance, you can create new databases, and so forth. So, I said you can connect to other databases, so how do I do it? The first thing you must have is a JDBC compliant driver in a compressed jar file. So in other words, you need the jar driver. To find these drivers, you can find a list at servoyguide.com that has JDBC drivers listed that we've used with Servoy. Also, the Sun website has a list of all the JDBC drivers they're aware of. You must place the driver in the drivers folder of your installation. Once you have placed the driver in the drivers folder, all you need to do is open Servoy and configure it under the database servers. So let's go on to a demo. You'll notice here I have my Servoy folder open, and you'll notice three folders under here. We want the application server folder and then the drivers folder. Now here's my JDBC driver for MySQL. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in, and it's simple as that. We've placed the driver in the drivers folder, and now we can start Servoy. Now Servoy is now starting up. Once we get there, we are able to open database servers, and we'll right click and click New Server, and it guides us through. We basically need a server name. Call this test serve. Username and password. And then we need the name of the database that we want to use. So now we can save. Now if it's saved without error, that means that it actually made a connection to the database and everything was fine as far as our setup. Go ahead and close this. I want to show you one other connection here in the database servers called repository server. The repository server stores solutions that can be checked in or out for Servoy. When you work with a solution in Servoy, you work with it on your local machine. And then once you're ready to use it, you can upload it through the checkout process to a repository server. This is what this connection is listed, and by default we'll go to the Sybase connection. If you're not using Sybase, you need to create a database on your database system and enter it here using your database driver. And the easiest way of doing this is just to disable this one, rename it, and create a new repository server using your database driver. That's all I have today for databases in Servoy. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks.